Hello, everybody. You're live. It's Monday, July 21st. Having a few technical problems tonight, so hopefully we'll get through the night. Minutes before I was getting ready to go on the air, and the computer just went bonkers, and they could at least wait until they hear what I'm going to say, because I don't even know what I'm going to say tonight. And they're already, yeah, she's on! But that's all right. If you have a question for the show, send it to SherryTalkRadio at yahoo.com. I think tonight I'm just going to answer questions from listeners. I feel led to just do that, so that's what I'm going to do. Just answer your questions and comments or whatever. Lord didn't really give me anything other particular. It just felt like let them ask questions, let them, spend some time with the people that are listening. And so that's what I'm going to do tonight. So if you have a question for the show, send it to SherryTalkRadio at yahoo.com. I'm going to answer email somebody sent me earlier about orgone. He was sending it to me personally, and I'm going to go ahead and tell him I would answer it on the show tonight, and it'd probably help everybody else too. He wanted to know if I had more comprehensive information on the blasters related to coverage of each device, an average home for our guests, a room, a business, how much to cover it for the show, or for blasters, and so I'm going to talk about that a little bit. For an average home, you can go to my website at orgoneblasters.com. If you're new to the show, for something, we spend a lot of time off and on because the show is about doing. We're not just talkers for the most part, we're doers. And a lot of us have been led with the positive orgone energy blasters to get them out in these last days. One of the devices and defenses that the Lord has given us to protect ourselves against different tech weapons and chip implants that people are suffering today. An average home, I have a blaster on every TV or near it. If you have one of those flat screens, put it in front of it or whatever. I also like to anoint TVs because that's one of the main ways that they travel. Kind of reminds you of that show, what was it called, Phantasm or something, where the things are coming through the TV, because these demonic beings, because they travel through electrical lines. That's basically true. And one of the reasons why at night you'll hear or see the most demonic activity coming out of your kitchen is because the kitchen is the most single room in the house that has the most appliances plugged in. And so I always keep blasters in my kitchen, keep them on any TV. If you have a computer monitor, put it in front of your computer monitor. My whole journey with orgone started because I would sit in front of the computer and all of a sudden I would start getting really bad chest attacks. Or I would feel like I would just be getting really woozy, really dizzy, like I would, was drunk or on drugs or something. I don't know how to explain it. And you get a sulfur taste in your mouth. You get migraine headaches, and I didn't know what was going on. And so I prayed and asked the Lord, how can I make this stop? And He led me to orgone, and He showed me what was out there. The first thing He did was showed me what was out there that the pagans were doing, the New Age sites. And then He showed me what was wrong with the orgone that they were making. And then He showed me how to make the right orgone. And so I had no background in that at all, folks. I didn't know what I was doing. I was totally in the dark. The first batch I ever made, I'm just like, okay, Lord, show me how to do this. And I would listen to a small voice in my spirit. I remember when the Lord talks to you, He talks to your spirit. It's almost like a small voice talking to you in your heart. He does not speak to your head. So if you hear voices speaking to your head, rebuke it, it's Satan. He speaks to your spirit. And so that began my whole journey. 6 years later now, we've got this stuff across the country, across the world. We're watching it demolish alien bases, chemtrails, all kinds of different uses. You can read about it at orgoneblasters.com. You can read about my road trips I've taken across the USA. And this isn't something I make a lot of money on, folks. If the Lord's people, and one person in particular hadn't even financed the trips, I never would have made it, because there's just there's no money making this. It has nothing to do with making money. I have the directions on my site where you can make it yourself. We're just trying to do the Lord's work in the last days here because we don't have much time. And with these coming alien invasions, I really believe that orgoned areas will become protection areas from the aliens because they hate the orgone. And so another reason why we're doing it and getting it out there. So I have a blaster in every room of my house, basically. I also have it under my bed, under my children's beds. You'll notice if you put it under your bed that you'll sleep a lot better because it keeps the demonic beings away from you for the night. They can't stand it. They want to be around orgoned areas. And And so keep it in your bedrooms. You'll sleep better if you have it under your bed. How many would you need? Probably one per room. I tend to have, depending on the room itself. Again, sometimes I just go to overkill, and you can't really overkill because orgone's just a positive, good energy, and so you can't really overkill an area. I've known people that, like for businesses, I've known them that have put them in their little business cubicles, and then their evil bosses won't even want to go near their cubicles because they don't know what, they don't like the orgone. They say they don't even know it's there. But I've heard from quite a few different people that have put it in their business cubicles at work, and the reactions they get from some of the employees, while others are totally oblivious. Because orgone doesn't affect people that are normal. People that are possessed, that are evil, that are actual reptilians in human bodies, it will affect them. They'll hate it. It burns them, and just you'll see them. A lot of people have talked about seeing people start to shapeshift in anger, and just being around orgone. And so, very interesting. Nothing to do with business. If you have property, what you want to do is put it at the four corners of your property, if possible. If you have a really small lot like I do or something, I just put it up at the gutters of the house, the gutters of the garage. You can put it in flower beds around your house. Just ask the Lord to show you where to put it. If you have any water sources on your property, a lake, a pond, a river nearby or anything, put orgone in the water supplies because clouds will draw up that moisture of the orgone out of the water and then rain it back down on the earth, and so it's an excellent source, raining orgone. And so that's very effective. And it just really depends on what else the Lord leads you to do with it. Do they help with EMFs, microwaves, cell phone radiation, dirty electricity, negative inflow through electricity lines? Yeah, that's why I put it anywhere where there's appliances or electricity coming into the home, cable, TVs, computers, even just simple things like a refrigerator and a toaster. Because all of these things are demon magnets. They travel through any kind of electricity lines that go into your house, TV lines or whatever. And so just having it in your room, you're going to notice a huge difference. Some people notice a huge difference right away. Some people, it takes a few days because the demons will get angry at the orgones in the home or the business, and it'll take a day or two for them to leave. And so just wait it out. Some people who get the pendant, I don't make the pendants. My friend Ann in Texas makes those. But people, I noticed myself, I'd given it to an older lady friend of mine, and she put the pendant on it, and like a day later she was breaking out in boils. And it was and I knew she'd had a wicked temper. I mean, she was a real nice lady and stuff. They had this wicked temper. I thought it would calm her down a little bit. But, it can also be a trigger for people that are possessed. And so, I was going to tell her, well, keep it on, because I was going to tell her maybe don't just chase the demons out of you and go somewhere else. But she had to take it off. And so, you'll see it have a negative effect on people that are demon-possessed as well. They don't like the orgone. But she was able to keep it in her house. She had it in her house, and then she was fine. And so, hopefully, I haven't talked to her in a long time. Hopefully, they've left her, though, since they're residing her, and she's living in an orgoned area now. Eventually, they'll just find someplace else to go and someone else to harass. Because demons do hang around people. They travel. Travel around people. You can go to a grocery store and then come home and bring a demon into your house. I mean, they travel just alongside people. You don't realize this. But if they get to your door and it's like they sense orgone, it's almost like a orgone magnet. They're not going to come into your house. They'll stay outside. Go find someone else to harass because they don't like orgoned areas. And so we just have a lot of different protections through orgone. Get on to another question or comment from a listener. My daughter has memory of an abduction